Hello and welcome once again to Beatle University. I am Professor Moptop, and as we continue to learn about the Beatles, we also from time to time take some time to talk about some of the influences that the Beatles had that helped form them into the band that we still discuss in great detail to this day. In the past, we talked a bit about the Coasters and some of the songs that the Beatles performed on a few occasions, yet they never officially did them for a regular release. Searchin' and Youngblood were done by the Coasters and then quickly copied by the Beatles, who kept both songs around in their regular rotation for quite a while, eventually dropping them from the set list.
I saw her standing on the corner, a yellow ribbon in her. I couldn't stop myself from calling. Wow, look at that, look at that, wow, look at that, wow, look at that. A Youngblood, oh Youngblood.
Jerry Leiber and Mike Stoller wrote a remarkable amount of songs for the Coasters, but they were also the words and music combo responsible for Kansas City, originally called KC-11.
I'm going to Kansas City, here I come.
It was also modified by Little Richard.
Going to Kansas City, going to get my baby one time. Hey, hey.
And recorded by the Beatles.
Kansas City, gonna get my baby back home. Yeah, yeah.
Leiber and Stoller also wrote Hound Dog, first for Big Mama Thornton in 1953.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, been snooping around my door. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, been snooping around my door. You can wag your tail, but I ain't gonna feed you no more.
And of course, that was recorded by a hillbilly cat named Elvis a few years later in '56.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine.
Leiber and Stoller also co-wrote There Goes My Baby for the Drifters, along with their brand new lead singer, Ben E. King.
There goes my baby, moving on down the line. Wonder where she is bound.
Stand By Me was also written by King, along with Leiber and Stoller.
And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me.
The song credit for Stand By Me is King and Glick. Glick being Elmo Glick, an occasional mysterious and curious pseudonym for Leiber and Stoller. And always being a fan, Lennon recorded his own version of Stand By Me for his rock and roll album in 1975.
When the night has come
And the land is dark, and the moon is the only light we'll see.
Jed Peters was the credit given to the songwriting duo on a collaboration with Billy Ed Wheeler for a Kingston Trio song called The Reverend Mr. Black.
He rode easy in the saddle, he was tall and lean, and at first he thought nothing but a streak of mean could make a man look so downright strong. But when look in his eyes and you knowed you was wrong. He was a mountain of a man, and I want you to know he could preach hot hell or freezing snow. He carried a Bible in a canvas sack, and the folks just called him the Reverend Mr. Black.
Jed Leiber and Peter Stoller were the young sons of the songwriters, and this is where they got Jed Peters from. Again, we don't seem to know why they used these fake names. It might have just been a neat thing to do, possibly something financial. The Beatles would also use a fair amount of fake names in their travels. As the Beatles scanned the record racks and the music charts, they would keep an eye out for songs associated with Leiber and Stoller, who both directly and indirectly influenced the young songwriters. While the Beatles were great fans of Leiber and Stoller, it was the singers of the song that really grabbed their attention, and the Coasters continued to spark the interest of the Beatles.
Three cool cats. Three cool cats.
Cats was written by Lieber and Stoller for the Coasters in early '59, and that was the B-side to Charlie Brown.
Walks in the classroom, cool and slow. Who calls the English teacher Daddy-O? Charlie Brown.
Once again, the Beatles flipped the record over and enjoyed the B-side, learning it quickly and adding it to their act with George singing lead for most of the song, John and Paul each playing a part. Everybody got a little bit of a chance to be silly on this especially theatrical song.
Well, I popped that first cool cat. He said, "Now look at that, man. Do you see what I see?" Well, now I want that little chick. I want that little chick. Hey, man, say one chick for me. Yeah.
They recorded it during the ill-fated Decca record audition in January of 1962. After being rejected by Decca, they tried to fine-tune their image a bit more serious and less novelty. The overtly mindless songs dropped in favor of some more solid rockers or the occasional show tune. The Beatles made a series of strange but absolutely right moves along the way. Records state it was performed once more in January of '63 for Here We Go on the BBC, although that wasn't actually broadcast, the tape being long since erased and reused. After that, Three Cool Cats became a memory for the band until the 1969 Get Back sessions, which would see the Beatles attempting to revisit some of their favorites from their formative years. The Coasters' impact on the Beatles may be a bit hidden when considering the official released output of the band, but they were certainly an essential part of the DNA of the Beatles. With a high level of talent and thoughtful creations, and a wonderful sense of humor, the Coasters, along with Lieber and Stoller, served as an example of what type of music the Beatles wanted to make on their own. They also greatly influenced the type of songs that the Beatles would choose to cover, and the next time we meet, we'll discuss the Coasters one last time as we continue to learn a whole lot about the Beatles. Until then, class dismissed. I am Professor Moptop.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A moptop production.
Very good.